some fans asked some questions, and one comes from Justin B. He said, what was it like to be traded to arguably the Avs' biggest rival right now? And, is that a different experience, you think? I mean, you've never experienced anything else, I suppose, but I mean, what did that feel like? Because Minnesota and Colorado do go at each other quite a bit, and they are considered probably pretty large rivals. Does that make things a little weird at first?
Yeah, when I first heard, I was kind of honestly like, I wasn't shocked, but I was just kind of surprised when they said Minnesota, because I was like, wow, like I didn't think that those two teams would make a trade just with being in the same division. And like you said, they have that history. And like I remember games over these past 5 years where it's just been so intense. I remember when like Dubnik was in Ball Arena in Denver, and we had some games where we kind of ran up the score a little bit, and he's getting booed off. And obviously Dubnik came to Colorado too, so I knew him a little bit, and he's a great guy, and he was talking about that. And yeah, there's just a lot of feistiness between those two teams. When I heard, I was kind of like, oh wow, really? They actually
Yeah.
did together and stuff like that. But I was really really excited. Yeah, I'm excited for Colorado coming to town Sunday.
Yeah. Last question on them. Jake B wants to know, on the other side of it, did Colorado view Minnesota as a huge rival? Like Minnesota, I think, sees Colorado. That's the one team. I mean, did Colorado feel the same way, or did they have other teams that were kind of a little bit maybe more on their radar?
No, I'd say Mini was definitely one of the big teams for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely in like that top two or three for rivals,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I guess like the Central Division is such a good division, so you have all those teams in there like Nashville and I'd say Nashville and Mini were probably in Colorado were our two big rivals for sure. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I just remember the games that we were having against Minnesota, and I was coming in obviously the Excel Center too. You knew it was going to be a tough game, and you're going to go to war, and the fans here are just amazing and incredible. I'll tell you what, it's a lot nicer to be on this side of things, fans here, and yeah, just selling out this place. The energy in here, it's a lot of fun to play in front of. So it's a lot nicer when you're wearing the Wild jersey instead of the Avs jersey when you're playing here too.
Yeah, fans can attest to that as well. I want to go back a little bit to your life in general. I know your mom and your sister, you're incredibly close. Have they been out to Minnesota yet to see you play? And tell me a little bit about your guys' relationship, how you've called them the rock in your life for your entire life, really.
Yeah, my family is something that's very very important to me. I guess I'll kind of touch on just to kind of show how cool my mom is. I got traded when we were in Colorado was in LA. All I had was one bag and one suit. It was a quick little trip, so I didn't pack much. And I got called and I got shipped out here to Minnesota. So being in California, I had like shorts and sandals and stuff like that. The weather's not quite there yet here, so
Mm-hmm.
I was struggling for about a week and a half on one outfit and one suit and a couple pair of underwear and stuff like that. And, my mom, the saint she is, she went to Denver and packed up some of my stuff, packed me a couple of bags, and then flew out here to Minnesota. So she actually got a chance to watch last night, and yeah, that just kind of shows just kind of who she is. She's like, I want to help you out here and make sure you're feeling at home and whatnot, and have everything that you need. But yeah, it was I guess touching back to kind of why my family's so important, stuff like that. My mom was a single mom, so she raised me and my sister. I mean, all by herself since we were 5 or 6 years old, and I remember her running around all the time, like me to hockey practice, my sister to dance and volleyball, and right after she's been working like a 12-hour shift and stuff like that, and yapping at her to go to the outdoor rink after all that. And I mean, anyone could have easily said like, no, let's stay inside, Tice. Like I'm tired. I wanted to sit on the couch, but she was the first one to be like, all right, we're going to the outdoor rink. You want to go to the outdoor rink after
Mm-hmm.
a 2 hour practice? Sure, let's go. So she just supported my sister's dreams and my dreams so much. Just all the hard work and just all those little things. I mean, she put her life on hold for us. And I mean, as you get older, you realize how much that means and how much she's done. You kind of, I guess you don't really take it for granted as a kid, but I guess you don't understand the sacrifice that she went through and all the things that she did to make my sister and myself so happy. And I guess I can't forget my grandma and grandpa either. I'm sure you guys have seen some videos of my grandpa of him crying and stuff like that, my first game and my first goal, and eating the popcorn and stuff. But my grandma and grandpa were also a huge part of my life as well. So when my mom would go to work, they would be there and kind of taking looking after us and stuff like that. And my grandpa would take me to the rink too. So Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really respect what my mom did and all the sacrifices she had in her life for me and my sister. And it's something I'll forever be in debt for her. I'll try to do my best to repay her, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be impossible to do. Just,
What's the first gift with that NHL check that you'd gotten her? It had to be something really cool, right?
yeah, I mean, I haven't spoiled it yet. I'm hoping to do something cool, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just little things like here and there, and
Yeah.
just to try and give back. And yeah, we've been talking a little bit about something that we may do down the road, but she always told me, she's like, no, I don't want you to get me anything big or anything like that. Like knowing her, she's pretty funny like that. But yeah, down the road for sure. I'll hopefully one day I can get her a house or something like that and
Yeah.
help her retire or whatever. So I know she'll probably hit me for saying this, but yeah, that's something I want to do for sure.
Yeah, talk to Billy G, cozy up to him and let him know that
Yeah,
you're getting that
exactly.
in the works, right? Well, speaking of your grandpa, Beth, who apparently must have followed you at North Dakota, wants to know how Grandpa Jim is and what did he think of the trade to Minnesota?
Grandpa Jim was pumped. He was super excited. He called me right away, and he actually couldn't travel to Denver just because of the altitude, and it was a little too much for him on his lungs and stuff like that. And that's the first thing he said. He's like, "Well, I can't wait to come out to Minnesota." He's like, "I can finally come and watch some hockey games," and he's really excited. He's calling me. He's like, "You need to get me a couple Minnesota hats and some sweaters." He's like, "I need some new apparel now," and he always walking around the rinks in Edmonton and St. Albert, where he's from, with his North Dakota gear still, and he's got his North Dakota hat. And he's awesome though. That guy's all time. He's probably a bigger celebrity than I am in St. Albert back home. Everybody recognizes him as the crying grandpa, and he's always
Oh,
walking around and talking everyone's ear off. He just loves hockey. He grew up around the game and coached.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty spectacular man. I owe a lot to him, and he's someone I just cherish to call my grandpa. He's a pretty special person. So I'm sure Minnesota fans will get a little dose of Grandpa Jim here pretty soon.
I'm excited. Is he the reason that you started playing hockey then? I mean, obviously, just being Canadian, it's part of life similar to Minnesota, but I mean, was Grandpa Jim instrumental in getting you on the ice?
I'd honestly probably say that my mom was kind
Really?
of the first step to it. She grew up around the game too, obviously, just because we came
Yeah.
from a hockey family, and she had me in skates at a pretty young age. I was walking around in the basement at like 9 months in skates. She has pictures of me with like this big helmet on and skates. Then she was obviously taking me to the outdoor rink and stuff like that. And then my grandpa was right there along with me too. So those two for sure were pretty instrumental in kickstarting my career.
Love it. You had said Grandpa Jim's donning the North Dakota gear. What made you choose college hockey? Because in Canada, that's kind of a rare thing to happen. What was it about NCAA that you were like, hey, this is the next step in my development?
Yeah, it is. It is very unique. I think it helped too. I had Dante Faber, who plays on Nashville Predators now.
Mm-hmm.
So we both played in Penticton V's junior hockey. We both got drafted to the WHL like right around the same time, both to Seattle teams there in Washington. And I was in Everett and he was in Seattle. So it kind of helped to, I guess, like have a buddy kind of go through the same thing. We had a lot of outside pressure to go to the WHL. That's what a lot of Western Canadian kids do. Is very unique that we went college and we were kind of not catching heat, but a lot of people were like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Yeah.
go to the WHL. That's what everyone does. Why are you guys straying away from that path? But we just saw how much development there was in college hockey. And I mean, for myself, like going to North Dakota, there's so many, I guess, cool things there and stuff that could help accelerate my career. And you have the extra practice time, you have the weight room, the shooting areas, you can go on the ice all the time for extra skills. Like I know when I was at Nodak, like I would go to class in the morning and then right when my class was done, I'd rush to the rink and do some skills with Dane Jackson there, the assistant coach, and then you get off the ice and then go to practice in another couple hours. So there's just so many little cool things that I thought that could help like elevate my game. I didn't really know if I would be able to get that in the Western Hockey League, where you're playing a lot more games and you're traveling. It's more of a pro schedule, I guess you could say. Whereas college, you have time to develop, work on your game. And Penticton too, the Penticton V's were just outstanding. Like that's a world-class program. And I know a lot of, I guess, Minnesota people have went to the V's too, like the Rileys and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So I'm sure some people are kind of familiar with the program, but Fred Harbertson there is just incredible. And he really helped Dante and I kind of cherish those two moments and then sent us out to college. So yeah, it was really cool. I'm really happy with my decision and the route
Yeah.
I went.
I love it. 1 year at North Dakota, but what was the major plan? Are you going to go back, get a degree? What are your thoughts on the education? I know you've got a whole career in the NHL right now, and that's fine, but were there any degree plans? What were you thinking maybe?
Yeah, I haven't. I've kind of pondered over a little bit. It's tough because I was only there for 1 year, so I still have a lot of work to do. So I guess we'll kind of see when my career is done in the NHL here, and then we'll kind of revisit some of that stuff. I'm sure my mom would love me to finish my degree, but that is a lot of work. So
I couldn't do it. If I had to go back, I would be like, nah, I'm good. Like I just,
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm telling myself right now. But I guess we'll see how I'm feeling and however long I got left in the NHL. So
yeah, you could always take Keith Ballard. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he said he went back and got his degree because he left Minnesota after a couple of years, and he took classes like underwater basket weaving and like really ridiculous things to get a business degree just to appease his parents and everybody. So it's
maybe I'll have
funny.
to take him up on that.
Yeah, exactly. Take the easy credits out. So well, a couple more fan questions for you, and then we'll let you get rocking and rolling on your day. Johnson from Wisconsin, heck of a name there, buddy. Yeah, right. He wants to know, what are your thoughts on being able to move up and possibly slot in at the second line? He would love to see you between Matt Boldy and Kevin Fiala, and thinks that you could be a Hartman 2.0. I'm sure obviously you're not begging Dean for any movement just yet, but I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, where would you see yourself playing? Or are you just kind of taking it game by game and saying, I'll go wherever the team needs me?
Yeah, that's kind of my mentality right now. I mean, obviously we're making a push down the stretch here, and playoffs are coming up, and you don't want to put personal things ahead of the team right now. It's all about the team, and that's how it should be. That's how you're going to win hockey games, and that's what I want to do, is win a Stanley Cup with the Minnesota Wild. And wherever I am in the lineup, I'm just going to do whatever I can to help this team win. That's someone that's just the type of person I am, and just kind of my mentality. Obviously, do I want to take a step up in the lineup? Yes, of course. Yeah. That'd be crazy if I said no. And I want to grow my game and stuff like that. And would I love to be there in the future? For sure. But I know that I'm going to have to earn that and keep growing my game here and keep, I guess, building those blocks up. But yeah, right now I'm just ready to do whatever it takes to win and earn the coach's trust and keep growing my game. So yeah, but I love to be in that spot one day for sure. So
you wouldn't say no, right? Like, nah, I'm good on the fourth line.
Yeah, I want to be the best player I can be. And yeah, I just want to help the team win and keep moving forward here.
This one I'm curious about because I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure. So Kyle B wants to know, Old Dutch ketchup chips or all dressed? I don't even know what that means. So can you please explain? I know ketchup chips are like a whole thing up there, but what is all? Yeah, what explain, please?
So have you ever had ketchup chips?
I have like dipped my chips in ketchup once, as a child.
Close to similar. That's disgusting. But
how is that?
Yeah, in Canada, we got the ketchup chips, which are just delicious.
Yeah.
And then we got the all dressed chips, which I personally like a lot better.
Okay.
Basically, it's just, I don't even know. It's all dressed, like all the seasoning just together. And it's just a type of chip, and it is just incredible. I remember when I go back in the summer, all the guys would be like, all the trainers and stuff like that in Colorado, or even like in Colorado, we'll go to Canada, they'd all grab ketchup and all dressed chips. So we go to Vancouver to play the Canucks. They have it in the locker room. The trainers bring it in, and it's pretty good.
So life-changing.
America's missing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going with the all dressed. All right. That sounds more appealing.
Yeah. All dressed is good. Ketchup actually is very good though. It doesn't sound great, but it's sneaky good.
See, but it's just as good. Dip. All right. I will try a ketchup chip. You have to dip your chips in ketchup though, and tell me if it doesn't. It tastes just the same. It's got to taste the same.
No, there's no way. No way.
Well, we'll find out. We will find out. Another question from, speaking of the Vancouver Canucks, Brock Besser was here. What was it like playing with him at North Dakota? Obviously, he's also kind of a love-hate thing. They hate him for going to North Dakota, but he's one of our own. So what are you going to do? What was it like playing with Bess?
Yeah, it was awesome. Brock's just a great guy. He's hilarious. He's a pretty funny guy. He was great to be a part of that team. Obviously, I missed that national championship team by a year or two. I was a little too young. So I think what makes Brock even better is just how good of a guy he is. So I was actually texting him and Hayden Shaw, who I played with at North Dakota. They're both mini boys, and I was saying, am I going to stay in Minnesota for the summer here? Should I be a
Yeah.
mini summer boy? And they're kind of giving me you need to stay down here. So, yeah, it's something that I'm kind of going over and thinking about maybe doing.
Well, I hear Brock's got a pretty nice place out on the lake. So there you
Oh
go.
yeah,
You just,
Prior
you
Lake
could
there.
use,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
you
what they
could
said.
use a
We'll be
roomie.
surfing and training and all that stuff. So yeah.
And you could be at the Beauty League. Have you heard about the Beauty League
I
and
have heard
all
about
that?
that league. Yes, I
See,
have.
there you
Yeah. Yeah.
go. That'll be a good time. Speaking of living then too, I guess going back, Nico Sturm, I heard you lent your place out to him when he moved to Colorado. Is that right?
Yeah, I was talking to Whitey. It hasn't happened yet. I actually have
Okay.
all the new guys that got traded to Colorado. I've had every single one of them ask if they could rent out my place. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. There's just so many moving parts. I don't think that's one thing that people really realize is how much kind of goes on behind the scenes. Like I'm trying to ship out. Obviously, I got my mom going to Denver and packing me bags. I got people trying to get in there and moving some of my furniture. I got to get my car down here, and there's just a ton of moving pieces and whatnot. And then obviously finding a place here and stuff like that. So we're trying to go over all the logistics right now and figure out what works best. But yeah, I have half those guys over there asking if they could rent that spot. So who knows what's going to happen.
What's the living situation now? Are you like in Spurge's basement or like where are we, what are we doing there with your situation in Minnesota?
So a bunch of us are just at the hotel that's right across from the XL Center, just at like a residence center or whatever. It's got a little kitchenette and stuff like
Yeah.
that, which is fine. So it's nice. You're close to the rink and stuff like that. You can try and find a place. It's just tough because you're playing every other day and then you're going on the road, and you usually do that before the season, finding spots. But that's one thing I'll say though is the Wild organization has been great at welcoming me in and making me feel at home and making sure I'm comfortable and stuff like that. And I'm sure all the other new guys will say the exact same thing. So yeah, I'm comfortable right now and happy to be wearing that Wild sweater.
Right. And final question before we let you go, Lindsay N wants to know, what's your hair care routine? You do got a nice flow going, like some good salad there, I think. So she wants to know, what's the routine to keep it looking fresh?
Funny you ask, actually. So I have very, very curly hair. I just got out of the shower right now, so I don't have the complete curls out right now, but my auntie actually has like extremely curly hair too, and her and my mom were trying to figure out stuff. I would like use regular shampoo, and I'd come out after, and it would be this big. It was
Really?
hilarious. Like just the puff on it was just absolutely hilarious. If some pictures get out there, it'd just be the funniest thing ever.
You can send them my way if you want. Like I would love to see this. I think
I'm sure
the
they're
fans
out on the
need to.
internet somewhere. I'm sure some of my boys have used them already, but
Yeah.
yeah, they got me some curl shampoo or whatever. I mean, I'm not much into the hair. I just throw it in there and get out of the shower, and that's that. Whatever it looks like, it looks like. So I definitely like my curls. I'll keep those for sure.
Yeah. So Brock didn't tell you how to like keep the mane all fresh, because I know that's a very big important thing for him.
Charming over there, yeah. Pretty boy Brock.